Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
Yes! Yes!
This is Robinson, you're trying to...
I'll have what she's having.
Yes! Yes!
This is Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
I'll have what she's having.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon and welcome to our live show. It was changed from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. with good reasons too, and I really believe in the law of the universe. I was really exhausted, so I needed a quick nap right after we watched the Prime Minister's announcement, which was really something that both my guests and I were interested to know, because her as an educator, me as a parent, would like to know, when is it safe? Are the kids gonna go back to school any day soon? Is the MCO or CMCO gonna be lifted? Well, now we know. And if you're not aware of what's happening, basically the Prime Minister has recently announced that there will be a tempo PKP pemulihan. So now we're going through a recovery stage from the 10th of June all the way to the 31st of August, which means schools are still not open, but we're really not sure when exactly it's going to be open. We're going to find out a little bit more from Coach later on. What I do know is that it's going to be secara berperingkat. I have no idea what that means either. But I know, I remember...
Stage by stage.
Oh, stage by stage, like that lah, huh? Yeah. But what I do know is... You're excited about that, dude? Yeah. Okay. But what I do know is the fact that the Kementerian Education or Kementerian Pendidikan will be advised by Kementerian Kesihatan, and they will announce when school be open 2 weeks in advance, something like that. But you know, things are very adaptable nowadays, very flexible. What I do know is schools are preparing just in case schools will be open any day soon. Again, they've only got like a 2-week recovery, or a 2-week notice if that's gonna still happen. And I know, like my children's school, for instance, they're gonna be practicing social distancing, safe hygiene, and everything, all the SOPs that has been laid out by the government. But with social distancing, that means dorang punya classroom kan nanti, that would mean that they need a bigger classroom lah, bigger class area. Because
I don't think so. I mean, you cannot just build a new class, right? So what's going to happen is less people in class, or maybe they sit in a padang, like how I used to last time, like that.
Well,
we don't know.
This is a very new norm indeed, and I think the best person who can shed some light with me today, this Sunday afternoon, is someone that I have, I trust in with my kids' punya enrichment program. This is Coach Olly. She's the co-founder of Hankidz Academy. I hope I got that right. And she and her wonderful team of coaches are part of Iman's enrichment program. Sadly, we just started. Iman was looking forward to every Saturday her classes, but now it's been harrowed down to just Zoom classes. Please welcome on the show, Coach Olly. Hi, Coach. How are you, Ollie? How are you coping? Okay, let's see if we can hear her.
Hi.
Boleh dengar tak? Kenapa kena mute itu? It's not muted?
Coping,
there you go.
A lot of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Macam on off.
We can hear.
Oh no, can hear now? Can hear. Coach, okay, yeah? And again, for those of you who are watching this live over my Instagram, please head over to my Daphne I King YouTube if you see just weird squares on your screens right now. Okay, Coach Olly, how art thou? I know you two are feeling a bit overwhelmed this Sunday. I'm actually glad that we postponed it 2 hours later. Boleh dengar?
I think what was that? It's small.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now I can hear. All right.
Yeah. It.
Yes.
I can actually
You can hear us, right?
hear you, but I'm actually hearing from my Insta. Should I be hearing from Insta or should I be?
No, you should be hearing from Zoom.
Oh, you hear it from your Zoom.
Yeah, switch off the Insta, switch off everything else. Switch off
Alright.
Facebook.
Can you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
switch off all your social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Just listen to us from Zoom.
For Ollie lah kan?
Okay, now I got
Awesome.
you.
All right, so how are you feeling this Sunday? I'm just repeating this, but I'm so glad that we postponed it. One, because we could hear the Prime Minister's announcement, so we're both on the same wavelength. And two, I just took a quick nap and I'm feeling so much better now. Because just now it was just like, yeah.
For me, I think that you are amazing, Daphne. You know, you just give birth and you can do all this, so many lives. I'm like, oh my God, my hats off to you. Super salute you.
I think this is my coping mechanism. This is how I'm keeping sane while being confined for the past 2 weeks. 2 months or so, 2 weeks. Yeah. But how are you coping, Coach? I know you've been busy coaching your staff, your students, your coaches. But has anyone asked you, how are you coping?
I think my team has been really nice to me. So they've been really supportive. So we've done a lot since NCO. You know, in the first week of NCO itself, we had an emergency meeting, and with that emergency meeting, we laid out our plan. Yeah, we discussed what we are gonna do, and we rolled out our online. At first, we were thinking, oh my God, because we are into, you know, building human potential. You know, shaping characters and a lot of hands-on and we have always pride ourselves in terms of experiential learning.
Correct.
And us, and we are like, oh my God, how do we do it? And I'm really glad to say that we've managed to find the so-called formula. And at the same time, we were able to also help the people in the industry. Like, you know, a lot of preschools, we have got teachers and principals coming, and we give teachers training to them so that they know how to work with the technology, how to interact better with the kids. You know, and all those stuff. So yes, it's been crazy work, crazy amount of work. I've never been like so. You know, our team are always like working, you know, round the clock. But this is more than round the clock for the team. But I'm really glad that we all stick in here. You know, still really strong.
And that's just it, because like my husband and I, we work from home. And we have our computers, we've got our printers here. So I assume, you know, that because I'm in a group chat with parents and they're going like, Hiya, say lo, I don't have a printer. You know, I don't have any printer. My printer, I don't know how to set
It's
up.
a blessing.
For me, it's a blessing, but it just made me realize, because you said that you spoke to some parents out there teaching them technology, and at that point when we started going out, I mean when we first started rolling out our kids punya online stuff kan, classes, I'm like, huh? Dorang tak ada printer kat rumah? What do you mean you don't have a printer? And this is like some high-end school, you know, like takkan. And then it hit me, oh, because we work from home, they go to the office, why do they need a printer at home? You know what I mean? So what are your thoughts about this schools will be open secara berperingkat? How do you feel as an educator, as someone who has an academy herself, who's got kids who go to school herself? Your thoughts, Ollie?
Frankly, it's a lot of uncertainty if you ask me. I really don't know what is this means. I don't know when it is starting, and because of that, it feels really, you know, uncertain. But I think we can't let the environment kind of impact us. You know, we need to still continue on with life. So we do our best lah, you know, rather than focusing on what if we focus on what we can So previously we were, after the third extension, see what we have done is that we have given our kind of online classes for free because we wanted to really maintain the momentum of the kids. Because kids, when they, if they are not engaged after a while, they lose their momentum.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we have built to have some momentums, and they are already we are already seeing results in them. So we needed to maintain the momentum, and we wanted it. Therefore, we we are continuing the class, and that was without charge. But
Okay.
and we kind of postponed the whole curriculum basically. But after the third NCO extension, we are like, okay, we really can't wait anymore, and we really don't know when it is. So we just take matters into our own hands, and we decide, what's gonna be the best for our children, our parents, and we have forums with them. We have a talk with them, and we find out what is it that they are thinking about, and yeah, so that's I think
Anne is asking you, how did you build your momentum?
say again.
Anne is asking you, how did you build your momentum? Because remember, after the third week, you went like, okay, cannot already.
Yeah. So I think it's with a long term in plan. Like, we have got short term, we have long term, and we have got our plan A, plan B, plan C.
Okay.
So basically said, if this happens, then we need to. So we are monitoring our situation pretty tightly. So we know our financial condition. We know how long we can sustain. We know if this continue on, and when do we need to launch this and that. And it's not like we just sit there and wait for the announcement. We do all the back end. So we test run. So now our team is actually test running and saying that now if the MCO is going to be uplifted or partially uplifted with still the SOPs to follow, 1 meter's distance, how many can my classroom take? So and because we had our conversations with the parents, a lot of parents, even though they recognize that that they like the physical classes, but because of this COVID-19, right, we have no choices, and safety is a priority.
So your survey states that most parents aren't ready to physically bring their kids to classrooms. From your survey, from your end, most of them aren't ready, Ollie.
Correct.
Oh. Okay. That's news actually. Why? What about you, baby? Would you want to send the kids to school if the schools are ready to be open?
It's until the school is 100% certain that they themselves feel safe,
Right.
that they themselves feel responsible towards the kids, then only we should be sending the kids to school, because we cannot like force the school to do something they themselves are not they are not comfortable with.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, who we gonna blame? We're gonna blame back the school. So until the school is confident, then yes, the school itself. Each school, I mean, confidence is also a human thing. It's not we cannot see the virus, right? So until they put some measures or whatever. So it is a new thing for us. We just have to keep on our communication with the schools lah.
I guess at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, this new norm, we have to go back to how it was before, just on a more distance, so a clean more, more hygienic way lah. There's an SOP that we have to follow. But I strongly believe that the kids have to go back to school. Businesses have to go start opening, and that's what's happening right now. I think that's the Prime Minister's main speech also from Friday and today, where more business will be allowed to open up. But that's just it. Not everyone has a helper at home. So we sort of depend on, like academies like yourself, schools, to look after and educate our kids at the same time while we go to school. We go to work. So yeah, that is something that we need to learn how to manage. building that, letting go of that fear. What do you think, Ollie?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think for the parents to be feeling really going back, then the support system needs to be there. So the daycare needs to be open, the school needs to be open. Who's going to jaga the kids, right? And that's the main challenge for the parents right now. And there's no mandate from the government yet that the school's gonna open, right? Even the daycare, how many daycares are actually even though they said that it's open, but how many daycares starting? Some of my parents, they are still keeping their kids at home.
Right.
They're still keeping the kids at home. So for us, what we do is that we are going to give them like options. So those parents who wants to come to the center can come to the center. Those who doesn't want, like, don't feel safe and want to opt to stay at home, they can actually still stay at home. So now we are pivoting and we are trying out having online. A team is trying that now, and so that's why I said that it's not about like sitting there and can you hear me? I think
it's a bit intermittent, but
we can hear, no
but we can hear you.
Okay, all right. So I think for me, let me just
So for those of you who've just joined
can you hear
us, yes, I can. Oh, but there's a bit of a double audio there. It's my side.
No.
All right, so whilst Coach Olly just figures out her audio, because I think there's double audio there on Ollie's side. For those of you who just joined us, hello. I understand that there's some parents from Hankidz Academy also joining us. I'm one of those parents who are also concerned, but at the same time, like, my kids are getting so restless. I spoke to Coach Olly and the team earlier just before we went live. And I think one or two of you from the comments that I can see here, for the first time ever, Iman, who is with Hankidz, she sat down next to me, watched the Prime Minister's announcement, and she was saying, "Mom, so what's happening?" Because she doesn't really understand BM. She was saying, "So is it on? Is extension going to be on?" And I said, "It is. Schools are definitely not open yet, but they're slowly lifting it up by stages lah." And she was like, "So we have to stay stuck at home again?" And this is my most positive child. I know we shouldn't be comparing, but she is the most positive child amongst all her siblings. And even her, she felt it after almost 3 months. She said, "I'm bored." And I normally get very upset when any of my kids say I'm bored, because there's plenty to do, but it's easy for an adult like myself to manage those emotions. But for kids, it's a little bit trickier. I don't know if Ollie can hear me now, but I was wondering, Ollie, how can we support our children during these challenging times?
Okay, so I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Sorry for that. Okay, great. So this is a bottom jar which I've actually created with my kids.
Okay.
So basically, it's like we kind of discuss and we kind of like brainstorm what are some of the things that they can do when they're bored.
A boredom buster.
When they are bored.
Okay.
Yes, correct. So instead of asking me what to do, they're just gonna pick up one piece of paper and they're gonna check out what is it. Okay, so what is this? Let me just see. This is
brilliant idea.
Read book. Right, so read book. So then they see this. Okay, then they go and read book. So there's plenty of different colors and it's different things. So white is for things that they do by themselves. So they can do this by themselves. The blue is when the mommy and daddies are around, or their friends, their siblings are around, so they can do it together with their siblings. So this one is eat ice cream together.
Ooh, I like that.
And the red ones are when MCOs are uplifted. So sometimes you need to give them a bit of hope. So
Nice.
how do we give them hope? When MCO is uplifted, we can take one of this and we can have a look. So this is play basketball. So yeah, so some of all this stuff. So then the kids we brainstorm, we come up with a list of all this stuff, and then when he's bored, he'll come here and he'll have a look, and he will do whatever the paper says. So there's a bit of a surprise element there. And at the same time, there's a big notice saying, please check your homework first. So so they have to do their homework first. It's not like they can just take the boredom jar and just do whatever activity. So they need to be doing their homework first as well. Yeah.
I hope that answers your question too, Juwaria, because she too said anak-anak sudah rindu nak pergi sekolah, bosan duduk rumah. Please try out. We want to try out that boredom buster jar.
Yeah, but I mean, most important for parents. Actually, just jumping in, Ollie. I mean, as a education establishment, I mean, has the government open communications with all of you in terms of how we're going to handle this when school opens back? Will there be discounts on fees? Because I mean, as it is, we do not know. Some of us are still paying, some of us are not paying, and then I mean, is it right to pay full? These sort of questions are always in our head because we just do not know. Are the government talking to you guys on how to relay this to us?
I'm not too sure, frankly. So far, we have not heard that the government's talking to at least I've not received any invitations for a forum, right? And I've also been to because we are also in a few groups, private schools groups, or kindy groups and stuff like that. So but there wasn't any initiation of a forum. So not too sure if is this us or is it really tak ada lah. But I mean, for the kindy side, for the school side, it's understandable that they still have their expenses, and so what we do here is that whatever things that we can save. Say for example, we saved a little bit on the rent. We negotiated. At first, we only got like 30% off, right? And then we negotiate. And we got it at 50%, and so what with the savings that we got, then we channel it back and say, okay, so this is that much of the little discounts that we can give, because there's so many parents then. So by the time you divide out, that's that much lah. So I mean, I think like in this time of period, right, it's a kita jaga kita, so we can understand how the parents are, and I'm sure the parents who are also entrepreneurs will also understand how challenging the business landscape is right now. So I guess it's about helping each other out and seeing like what can be done, and give as much as we can. So it's more of giving whatever we can. So in Hankidz, we focus on giving back value and just keep giving value to the parents, keep supporting the parents. That's why we have our Hankidz Parenting Support Group, Facebook group, which initially is closed for just the parents only, our own parents, but now it's open to everyone. So that everyone can just get the support that is needed. So so I think it's a kita jaga kita situation right now.
The other thing, my concern is also because 3 months has gone and then a lot of syllabus have not been taught correctly. So there's a lot of catch up once the school reopens. How are the schools going to cope with that? What are the plans? I mean, will there be like less public holidays from then on for the rest of 2020, the exams and all that? That's also another interesting thing lah. I mean, I'm not asking for a solution, but I'm saying that I think we should all, the education ministry, schools have to start to think about this. For me, one possible solution is next year. Then you back into next year, where 2020 and 2021 actually is a mix of both years. That's one way of doing it lah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on this? Because you have kids who are going to school also, but as an educator, you understand the limitations in terms of resources and stuff. Even though yours is more on like kindergarten for preschoolers and stuff, but then it's still costs on your end, and what's a win-win situation for both? I mean, for parents, try and make us understand, like, when we're asking for rebates and everything, and not just for your enrichment program, for instance. It's like, in our private schools, how would you be fair?
Yeah.
How do we say it? Because I'm in a group chat, and I understand.
Like I said, I definitely cannot represent everyone or all different kinds of establishment, but I think overall the business landscape is such that the rentals are still there, the salaries still need to be paid, and I think I think from a lot of private schools, what I see is that they do their online studies and online classes, and I guess they are doing their best lah.
Yeah.
So I guess coming from the mindset that okay, everyone's doing our best, so then what can we do to support each other? So I've got a kid that's going to school as well, and sometimes I look at him looking at the screen, and I'm wondering to myself, does this guy really understand what's happening?
Yeah.
and I would test him and say that, what is this, and surprisingly sometimes he knows and sometimes he doesn't. I think as parents, we were so used to, and I myself included, right, we're so used to tasking the school to teach the children, right? Tasking everything given to the school. School, you're just scouting for me,
Yeah.
I provide them food and shelter and whatnot, but you're gonna be the one that teach my kids. So I think even before MCO, this kind of a mindset may, in my opinion, may not be a holistic one. So
Right.
as parents, we need to also be interested in how they learn and what are they learning, and have a bit of be interested and know how to teach. So during this special time, even though I've just recently started this lifestyle hub, which is a daycare for primary schoolers, like standard 1 to standard 6. And it's really interesting because previously we are all into character buildings and whatnot. So this lifestyle hub allows us to talk about our, build the children holistically with mind, body, soul, social activities. And
Wow.
on top of that, we do homework coaching with them. And when I was teaching them homework coaching, I suddenly realized that, wow, this is such a fascinating thing, because actually we could teach the children how to learn much better with some, using not a normal technique of, rote learning. So we teach the children how to remember better. We use accelerated learning and stuff like that. So I think, as parents, we, go look up for things that will help supplement the kids. And at the same time, it's not just the teacher's duties. I know that when I say this, some of the parents will be like, "Oh my God, how much work I have," and I do understand, because I'm like having 3-4 full-time job right now. becoming a teacher is the new one that's added to my list. So I know how challenging it is. It's crazy challenging, but I think as parents, we are not like so we need to empower our kids to know their own responsibility. To
How do we do that?
Know what is it that they need to do. So that will make us feel better.
How can we make our
through
kids?
talking to them.
Yeah. Okay. Just talking to them, because I get a bit frustrated with the older one, thinking that the older one would be more responsible. But it seems like she doesn't really have the capacity to understand it as much as the second one. which is very frustrating. But at the same time, you've mentioned in your parenting workshops, you shouldn't, each child is unique, each child has a different personality, find their strengths, but at this point of time, I'm like, girl, I need you to buck up. Everyone needs to pull their weight, but at the same time, let children be children lah, Daphne. Don't force it on them. But that's what happened with us. And then I hear at the back of my mind Ollie going, yeah, but those were the days when this, that's why it's the help me, Ollie. How do we do this? How do we teach our kids to be responsible?
Yes, and I love this topic, right? Because this is the core of what we do. And I think a lot of the challenge with the parents is that the parents kind of like nag the child, right? Instead of having a conversation, the parents is nagging the child and saying that, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Why don't you do this and that and all, right? And the problem with that is the children goes in one ear, comes out from the other, nothing gets heard, right? And they go back to their same old routine, right? So when I say talk to the children, it has to be a conversation. It has to be a Q&A kind of a thing. So like recently, my kid yesterday, my kid was just asking me, "Mommy, do you think I can ask I can learn this computer thingy? I want to build something." And I said that, wow, it's cool that you want to build something, right? And Akong can help you, right? But before that, Akong is going to teach you. Akong means Datuk lah. And Akong's going to teach you something that is more basic, because if you have the fundamentals, the basic rights, then it's going to be easy for you. So, do you know what is the basic? And then he said, what is the basic? So I said, it's maths. Right, maths. Why? Because you need to know how to count and how to problem solve, right? And then I know that his challenge is on Mandarin and DM, because we kind of speak English with him all his life, and that was a mistake that I've done, right? So I should have spoken to him in Mandarin, but it's still not too late. So I told him that you need to learn all 3 languages. Why? Because when you want to sell things, you can explain it to people. People can understand. And then today he's like, okay, mommy, you know what? I'm gonna want to study Mandarin and English and Malay. I'm gonna work on my maths, right? And stuff like that. So it's a conversation. It's about sparking their. Yeah,
they have to get the interest, right?
First.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the motivation. That's right. The motivation.
Correct.
They have to spark the motivation. That's right.
Yes. So you need to spark the motivation first. Get them excited on what is it that they want. Even if for teenagers, it could be that I want to be like a gamer, right?
Oh my God,
Some
yes.
people say that. Oh my God, right? So many children out there aspires to be a gamer, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, because they've seen role models of gamers earning a lot of money, and so we need to get them to understand that it's not just about gaming. You also, after gaming, then what is it, right? These people, they may want to be a programmer. They may want to come up with new games or whatever, that they make something out of it. So if you want to be and so we chunk it up to something bigger. So is it just you enjoying the game, or you want to also allow everyone else to enjoy the game? You want to create something that that you can be proud of in terms of games or whatever. So with that kind of a motivation, then we go down to the nitty-gritty of how you're going to do that.
Okay.
So how is that? Okay, so that's where maths comes in. You need to do programming. There's a lot of logic involved. You need to know maths. You need this, that. And so you get them to buy into them wanting to learn it, rather than, you're forcing them. This is your responsibility. Mommy's responsibility is to do work. Your responsibility is to study.
Right. That's how you sort of bring it in.
Yeah, but instead of saying it that way,
Okay.
giving them what they want and focusing on what they want is more appealing. And they say they want it, then chances of them doing it is so much higher than we forcing it and we saying you need to do this. then they are like, why are you bossing me around? And so that's where it's super important. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I got from your parenting workshops is the fact that at the end of the day, we too as parents have to be very patient, because it's really about mindful listening and mindful conversations with our children. But right now, how do we then now manage, because we as parents now have the problem of, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my job, I don't have jobs coming in, but at the same time you're putting on a happy smile. People like me, I've got a newborn, you know, at home. I don't have a helper, for instance, so it drives one nuts. And honestly, being patient with my children, who supposedly are supposed to understand their mother, their naggy mother, is really on my below list. It doesn't come high on my priority list. How do you motivate me? How should a parent like me and Azmi, who's a very hot-tempered person, he just left the room, so never mind. Yeah, but you know, how can we manage us now? Because if we aren't happy ourselves, if we aren't motivated, it's going to be very hard to be nice and kind to our kids. And it's a very vicious circle at home already, because we're contained. Ollie, your answers, please.
And for me, it is about looking at the bigger picture, longer term, right? So if you ask yourself, you know, maybe, like, for example, I've got this video that I need to do, right? And I need to get it done within a certain time, right? And actually it's by yesterday. And that's why yesterday I kind of like didn't sleep until 5 something. And no, actually 6 something in the morning. And that's why I needed a break in the morning. So anyway, you know, if you ask yourself, yes, there are challenges in life right now, but you know, if I project it to a longer term, would this thing still matter? Does this still matter as much as compared to the longer term? But if we say, for example, what is it that we want at the end of the day, right? So our eyes needs to be on the goal. If what we want at the end of the day, why are we working so hard anyway, right? We are working so hard for our kids, for us to build a better home, a happy home, whatever it is. But if we are doing something that is totally opposite of it, then why are we doing this? So it is to again go back to the core and our objective and our final destination is happiness, and we can actually build it right now.
It's like what your intentions, like what are your niyat, right? So if your intentions was you're working so hard, the pressure is because of work. Why do you need to work? Because you want to provide the best education for your kids. But here you are turning out to be the worst version of yourself.
Correct.
Are you really doing it for your kids now? Because it's in a way, it's like ruining relationship. Okay, I like that. I will I will bear that in mind every time I feel like snapping at them. Because you can't help it. I do snap at my kids.
It's like, you know, I know, I'm human too. I do snap at my kids too. And I'm preaching emotional management. And I think the thing to realize is that we are all human, that we can be gentle and kind to ourselves, and if we make mistakes. So today I snapped at my kids, and then I went back to them and I said that, you know, I'm really sorry that I shouted at you. Mommy just has so much things that I need to do right now. Can I get your cooperations to do this and that? And I apologize immediately. So I want them to know that it is not the right behavior, but I'm human as well. And therefore, for me, it is about, you know, in the past, I would beat myself up, right? Oh, what should I do? I shouldn't have done this. And I feel guilty and I feel bad about myself. And then it goes down the, you know, negative.
Putting ourselves into that guilt trip.
So instead of that, it's like, yeah, correct. So now it's like, okay, yeah, I recognize that. I've made a mistake. I own up. And okay, so now taking a deep breath in. Okay, so refocusing on what is it that I want. Okay, I want a better relationship. I want to come out stronger in MCO, right? I want to come out stronger, better, having better relationship, you know, having a even stronger business or whatever it is, a stronger, healthier body. So whatever that I want right now, you know, I need to be focusing on that and doing it. So in terms of the relationship, so it's firstly to be kind to ourselves and to be gentle, and next to really focus on eyes on the prize on what we want. Ultimately, it's the happiness of our kids, the safety of our kids, right? And at the same time, we can do some reading lah. So I've got this thing that I used to do, and I actually teach it in in this video series that I do with the parents. It's called the Ease and Bliss Conscious Parenting Masterclass. It's a 32 video series of how to handle your emotions, how to handle the kids' emotions, how to handle siblings relationship when they're having fights and all. So all those. And so one of it is really for you to take a deep breath in, like 3 breaths. So basically, so I would do the first breath is just to center myself, and to the second breath as well, and then the third breath is to ask myself what is most important right now. So if I ask myself what is most important right now, what is most important right now is not to have an argument. What is most important right now is not to shout at them and to say, how come you do such a thing? Rah! Or whatever it is. But what is most important right now is for me to maybe handle the mess. Or maybe it is to teach them what is responsibility all about. Come on, let's clean up together. Right. Or the what is more important right now is to teach them how to be responsible, and teach them, or to connect with them and knowing what is it that they are feeling. So my kids is going through some roller coaster ride as well in terms of their emotions and stuff like that. So I need to be strong and to be sensitive to actually capture all this.
But can you not be strong? Is it okay to not be strong all the time, Ollie?
Oh yeah, it is okay. It is okay to not be strong all the time. But I think when you it is okay. So there's on time and off time, right? So when I say it is okay when you feel that emotions, it's not about hiding or suppressing your emotions. It's not about that. Right. Because that is not being strong. That is just sweeping it under the carpet and all. But what I'm saying is strong is it could be vulnerable to experience your emotions, vulnerable to be communicating it out, to tell others how you actually feel and how you need to be supported. That is being strong. Being strong is not that strong, but being vulnerable is strong, actually. Yes. So and being strong means doing what's right for the kids, for the family, and for yourself as well. So there are times when I told the kids, mommy really need to rest. Mommy is super tired right now. I just need to rest. Okay, so you do whatever you want to do, right? Mommy's just gonna rest for a while. If you want to be with mommy, you can come and sleep with me. If not, then you can go out and you can play or whatever it is. So I think knowing our own body and what's needed is actually very important. Definitely I really admire what you're doing right now.
I'm sorry, I'm just like feeding him at the same time. I'm so sorry. So distracted.
I know, right? And this is so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Well, speaking of beautiful, you've got an Evelyn Gore here, who is probably a mom. Evelyn, Stephanie. She says, Stephanie, I agree with you because Stephanie is saying that you look great. Gotta ask Ollie, what is her MCO secret to such beautiful skin now? So totally unrelated with our topic, but they're asking me or asking in a group chat, like, what are you doing that make your skin so... People stressed out, all come out, the pimple, but yours like, ta-da! Sidelining a bit, do you have a secret? Yeah.
Frankly, it's just my birthday just passed 2 days ago.
Happy belated birthday.
Mm-hmm. I'm 42 this year.
Woohoo!
Thank you. I'm 42 this year, and people think, and when people first meet me, and they'll say like, "This so young, you sure they are parenting? She's a parenting guru, like, And I'm like, I took a little bit of an offense at first. I was like, my God, I'm a mother of two. Hello, so I know my stuff. Hello, but then my team kind of grounded me to take it as a compliment, and I was like, okay, frankly, I actually this is a beauty thing, right? The technology is so great. They beautify your face for you.
No, this is
But-
Zoom.
but
This is
then
this is your real
there
face,
are
lah,
some
woman.
parents, not sure, but there are some parents who said that I look young, and I think the reason why I may look young is because I'm blessed. I'm blessed to work with on the things that I really love. So I love children. I love working with parents, families, transforming their lives. So yeah, I'm truly blessed, and I think when I'm happy doing the work that I'm doing, I'm not really working. So my
Makes
kids
sense.
actually will, because I told that to my kids a lot of times, and then my kids is like, so when I say, okay, so mommy need to go to do work now, and then he's like, you mean you're playing? Then I stunned for a while, and I'm like, oh yes, I'm playing.
But I think one thing that I love
They
about
call
the
us
whole
so fast.
your whole team is that you select your team based on the values that you want to instill to your children, the whole Hankidz approach, because I noticed that some of your coaches will check in with me. First I thought it was a bit weird because like you're teaching my kid, why are you checking in with me, and then I realized because the kid won't be okay if the mother is not okay. I get random messages, how are you, mommy? How's everything at home? Are you coping? Like nothing related with my kid and everything. And that's when I realized why it's so important. I guess that's why you say you love your job. And I guess your peers are all the same way. All of them look very, very young. I don't know the ages, but they look
Yes.
very young. They don't look very stressed. And that's great because you are really in love with what you do. I've got one teacher here who wrote to me anonymously, and she knew we're going to be doing this chat show. And she said that in her 8 years of teaching, this MCO has probably been the hardest on her mentally because she's losing her momentum in teaching. She uses Google Classroom for homework and Zoom for tutoring, but she finds out that at the end of the day, the students are not really listening to her, they're muting her, and then the parents get angry with her because the tutor, at the end of the day, you're paying quite a high tuition and then the kids are not knowing what to do. They go back to their parents and like, what the hell is the teacher teaching you? But how she wants to explain like, I am doing it, but I can't help if your son has muted me off, right? You're playing games instead. So there's a fine line about
Yes.
being professional, but at the same time, dude, it's
Yeah.
your kid who has a problem, not
Yes.
just me, okay? What's your
Yes.
reply to this anonymous friend teacher of mine?
Okay, thanks for that question. I think at the beginning, when we started off our online classes, I think the first thing to note is rapport with the kids. How much does the kids like you? If the kids love you, the kids respect you, the kids like it's a friend to you, then
Yeah.
they're you'll have them by your side. You'll have them at your side. So you're right about the Hankidz coaches. We love the kids and the kids love us. So we hardly have this kind of thing where the kids are not listening. But in the earlier days, we do have a little bit where we notice the kids are not really focusing or paying attention, or
Yeah.
the kids or some of the kids, they wanted to say so many things, but they in a Zoom session we kind of need to have time for everyone, and not like the whole class is only for that child. So there's a lot of limitations, and how we go about is that we actually have a one-to-one with the kids. So we have one-to-one with the kids or with the parents who seem to have this kind of challenge. So we talk to them, we enroll them, we again, it was a communication, it was a conversation. It's not that I tell you but it was a conversation. We created the motivation and the want to learn again. And then and what are some of the commitment that they will do? Say, I'll yes, I will sit I will be focusing. My eyes will be on you. Yada yada yada. So that is what we do. We do one-to-one. So we go the extra mile. Can you imagine one class if we have very small class of only 12 kids in a class max, right? But even then, one class, 12 kids, one coach have a few classes. How many one-to-ones do we need to do?
That's true. It's quite tiring.
Can be a lot. But that is where, that's where dedication and I think for us it is all about getting the results that we want. So it's about making sure that the children gets the benefit and the parents get the benefit. So if it means that we are doing double, triple the work, we'll still be doing it. So I was just telling the parents in our group that we are actually doing so much more. Because we need to cater, in one class, because last time it used to be 12 in a class, but now we split it. We split it and we said that, it has to be smaller. And so sometimes we even have not just the class itself, we then break it into small group coaching as well so that everyone gets to talk, like 5 or 6 in a class, in a group. So we do extra sessions just so that the children maintain the engagement,
but I guess you guys have the resources or the energy because you are passionate teachers.
Yes.
And sadly, not everyone is as like-minded as you. How do we motivate those teachers if they're watching right now and they're parents themselves?
Wow. Okay.
Tough, right? I know.
I think for me, I think they need to go back to the core of why they are doing this in the first place.
Nice.
If they're doing this for the money, then maybe, it is a good opportunity to now look out and see what else can bring them the money and the happiness. But if they are doing it for the love, the joy of transforming children, then they will find ways. They will find ways to and they will be motivated. So I think different people are motivated for the different things. But sometimes, having said that, sometimes life got onto us. Maybe the teacher at first was very passionate, right? But over the years, with the things that comes in, it maybe drove the passion down. And this is a good time for them to find themselves again, to ask themselves that question: why am I doing this? And at the end of the day, what is the legacy that I want to leave behind? And how do I want to be remembered as?
I think at the end of the day, we're only human. We too evolve as humans. As humans, we evolve ourselves and we get demotivated along the way. We get heartbroken. We get into fights or disruptions. There's things like that. So there's ups and downs, and it goes back to why did I do this again? Or maybe this doesn't bring me any more joy. What else can bring me joy? I think that's a good question. Tracy Leong says her kindergarten has started both Zoom and face-to-face session. As a parent, it's not that I don't trust the school in allowing her children to go to school. She just doesn't trust other parents to be careful, because some parents are more like, okay lah, cincai bocai lah. As long as my anak, I don't have to jaga them anymore. I don't have to pening kepala. If they're sick lah. Later I give Panadol, not knowing that they could be a carrier. They're not very careful. So I think that's where the paranoia happens. That's Tracy Leong. There was someone else who mentioned something also. In addition to that, there are children who miss interacting with their friends. So they get very excited when they have the Zoom classes because then they get to interact with their friends and everything. But that also causes a disruption to the teaching. So maybe, I don't know, I'm not a teacher myself, but allow that little time, space for the kids to just interact. Hey, hi Ollie, hi Joe, hi Rowena, hi Linny, just get them there and then start classes. I don't know, that if I was a teacher, I would do that. Ollie?
Correct, yes. I totally agree, because, if you don't allow that, then it is still up on their agenda. They haven't cleared that agenda and they have no space in their mind and their heart to be focusing on what you're going to teach them. So in Hankidz, what we do is that we start off with this chit-chatting, right? And warm up everyone, hi, 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 and everyone say hi, and they say what they wanted to say, and they share what they wanted to share,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go on to our lesson plan. So the thing is, if we don't do that, it's like one thing is still bugging them, and
Yep.
so they can't focus. So you might as well allocate a bit of time there, and then you'll see the dividends coming back. You see that you're rewarded in that the kids are more focused, the kids are more engaged and stuff like that. So, and it is also a motivation for the kids to go to the Zoom, right? If they don't get to even interact with their friends, right? Then they are like, why am I going for this Zoom for, right? So we need to have a balance lah. It's not like, just study, that kind. Yeah.
We've got Jenny Marcus here from Instagram saying, "Hi Daphne, I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm worried about the virus, but through my own experience, school is where these kids, especially neglected children, school is their escapism. So that's why, some children are facing mental health issues, being contained at home so much because they may be neglected, or maybe there's something happening that not all families have happy environments, so school is where they get to escape from that horrible, maybe abuse, sexual harassment, I don't know, but yeah, so that's going to be tough on them. Not sure they're actually going to ever watch this session, but that's a tough thing also, right, to address if things are not so great at home. Yeah. And also those who are living alone,
that would be
and
tough.
yeah, and also those who are living alone, for instance, how do we manage emotions then? Because like, oh my god, another prolonged MCO, even though it's been lifted a bit, but it's not going to be the same. This new norm is definitely not going to be the same, right?
Yes, and I agree to that. And the more we are, we are ready to just accept it as a new norm and move with what we have, the better it is. Because if we are still gonna think that I'm just gonna wait for what has happened in the past to come back, that's probably not gonna come back until a long time. So the earlier we can accept it, the better it is for us. And I guess for the kids who have escapism, and I really feel for them. I think, I hope there's not too many that is out there. And if they are, I think they need to know it, and if they are hearing this, they need to know that they are empowered to do something.
Nice.
It's their life, and they can choose to do something to transform their environment. It's not necessarily their parents, but it's also what else can they do, right? And if they really need support, to reach out for support. Yeah.
Ollie, we've been chatting. I thought that we'll just do a 30 minutes one because I know you're feeling a bit down and overwhelmed with work, but it's been almost an hour now. Can you imagine?
Really?
It's been an hour chatting with you. It's so good to
Wow.
reconnect.
Yes.
Any final words, or if any of parents out here who are watching and are interested in some of your master classes or getting in touch with you, what can they do?
Okay, so they can go to our Hankidz parenting support group. So they can just type in Hankidz leadership or Hankidz, and they'll be able to find our Facebook group. Just join in there. A lot of information is provided there. There's also many resources out in there. We have got many free shows, tutorial live shows for the kids, the younger kids. We have got online workshops for them. We have got our parenting videos, so that the assemblies conscious parenting masterclass is something that I would like to share. It is my gift to people who really want to
Bless you.
master emotions, because it is I think especially crucial at this time where everyone's emotions kind of like membara.
Yes.
and it's crazy, and that is why we do that parenting assemblies conscious parenting masterclass.
Let me
So-
just interject. I have a couple of questions. I mean, because
Yes.
going back to the subject of should we allow our kids back to school? You as Hankidz, I mean, you yourself physically, at what point would you say that you're ready to allow kids to school in your capacity? I mean, what are your SOP for that? You know, what do you think is right? That's my question.
Okay. So we have actually had a long list of SOP on what are we supposed to, what are we gonna do. So it's gonna be it's quite a long list. So we're gonna get the kids to stagger their coming in time and picking up time. We're gonna get the kids. The classes are all laid out different, 1 meters apart, everyone. Right, the kids are we are going to have a chat with the kids first to get commitment and agreement that they are going to put their mask on, because a lot of the parents, they are worried, what if they don't put on their mask, what if there's the. So before that's one thing that we're going to do with them. You are going to get the commitment from them first, and then if we can't get the commitment, then we're telling them that then you can't come into the physical classes. And because the kids love physical classes, they're gonna and we are like, I think for the coaches here, because we have so much rapport with the kids, so it's very easy for us to get the kids to agree on something and to do something, and they actually follow through. So that's not a big challenge. And of course, the spraying, the misting of the place, the hand wash and everything. So no hugs, so you're gonna teach the kids how to do this,
To the Korean
and
love.
then,
Yeah.
and then.
That's nice.
Actually, I mean, with our kids, even Isidore, 4 years old, he doesn't mind wearing the mask. I think what I've been hearing for the last 1 hour is to always treat the kids with respect, and you explain to them the
Correct.
truth, why you need. They will appreciate that, no? You just say, hey, wear, you don't wear, I whack you. That's very wrong. That's not the right way to do it. And I think you just
Correct.
explain that it's a virus. I mean, you think what? The kids do not know what virus is. If you keep telling them many times, they will know. Like anything in life lah. How we learn to read also, actually, it's not really B-A-Y or B-O-Y is boy. We don't see that. We see it as a picture. So kids, if you keep on instilling to them the messages, I think they will get it. Yeah, it's good at what you're saying, that you're in all these safety features that you are and SOP. I'm glad lah that you're looking into that. But I mean, it's, to me, honestly, the wearing the mask and social distancing doesn't really help. Actually, you're in an aircon room. Honestly, for 1 hour, whatever virus in there will affect everyone, no matter how far you sit apart. I mean, that's just the way it is. But I mean, sometimes you need that false pretense of security. I understand that.
Just have to be cautious lah. If you
Yeah,
think your anak is not well, don't bring him to
Correct.
school.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
That's it.
If your anak is not well, she has a temperature,
Correct.
whatever, they don't bring to
Correct.
school. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We've got
Correct.
Hankidz
Correct.
also showcasing
Most welcome.
or sharing their Facebook page over on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as on my Instagram. But I will also paste it on my caption. Thank you once again, Coach, and I'll see you around. I hope you feel much
Thank
better.
you,
And thank you to the
Daphne.
rest of the team who's been
Yes, I
supportive,
do.
not just with Iman and Isabel, but also with me. So merci beaucoup, terima kasih, and I'll see you around. All right, take care, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. You take care too.
You too.
Thanks, Daphne. Bye.
That's right, and that was
you.
Coach
Take
Ollie
care.
from Hankidz Academy. She and her team have just been really, really wonderful. At the end of the day, guys, it's all about effective stress management skills, evolving. You have to set your priorities, and especially parents like myself, when I had that little chat with Ollie earlier on, at the end of the day, you have to look at your niyat. Why am I working so hard? Why am I getting so stressed out? The fact is, because at the end of the day, I want to provide for my family. I want to make sure that they get the best of the best. But if I am getting so stressed and so worked up, not able to manage my emotions because of this MCO and whatever reason that's also happening around me personally, then how is that going to bring any justice or good to the family environment? Because if I'm working so hard, getting my high blood pressure and all that, and then it only affects my family relationship, it really defeats the purpose. So go back, as Coach Olly was saying, go back to your why you're motivated to do what you do, for teachers, for parents, for kids out there. You know, have faith in your children, communicate with them, be mindful about what you say to them, and speak to them as you would speak to another adult with respect. You know, of course, the language that you use will have to be simplified most times, especially if you're talking to like a 3-4-year-old like Isidore. But at the end of the day, do not think that they aren't able to comprehend. These kids are very resilient if you allow and trust yourself to be able to communicate that well with them. And of course, another tip is try as much as possible to keep your personal daily routines, or in this case, create new ones, because then it will give you some indication of what you have to do next. What I personally do is I have a to-do list, and in my to-do list it's cut into 4, like immediate, and then things to do, you know, as and when, and then it'll be good if you can finish this up. And then the last one will be like, wow, extra effort, stars for you, Daphne, if you complete this. So I have that, and I tick it along the way. And even if it's something as small as I need to make sure I finish my script for my interview with Ollie for Sunday, and I tick that, that's a sense of achievement, and you feel very good about yourself. So it looks like, again, for those of you who have just joined in, and we're gonna sign off, at the end of the day, this PKP Pemulihan, a recovery to normalization, is going to start from the 10th of June. This is going to be phase 6, all the way to 31st of August. There's no indication whatsoever if schools are going to be open. A lot of parents have already showcased their concerns. Not many parents want to send their kids to school right away because of the COVID-19, understandably so. But at the same time, not everyone has a helper at home, or they're able to send their kids for babysitting or daycare because of financial issues or whatever it is. So that's a bit of a concern, because then the parents need to go back to work because some businesses are being open. So it's all about managing your emotions and finding the best way to manage all this without losing yourself, okay? Tomorrow I'll be talking to my sister Michelle and Iking. A lot of people have been asking me about how do I keep myself so fit during my pregnancy. A lot of people have fertility issues. A lot of people have shared with me their pregnancy struggles, miscarriages, and I just wanted to share with you all my sister's own story. I think her story would be the best to share with those who are curious to know how to cope after miscarriage. How do you continue to believe that you are able to conceive? We're going to talk to her a little bit more with regards to her 3% success probability, all that and more at 3 p.m. with my sister, whom I've not seen in a very long time, who has given birth also to a beautiful baby boy, very healthy boy, Kian Aryan Supaya. So we'll have her tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's going to be our Agung's birthday, and it'll be a public holiday. Not that it matters for me because I'm still confined at home with my pantang. Anyway, once again, thanks to Ollie and her team. You guys have been wonderful and so helpful. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting us during our live shows. You guys have been awesome. And again, I will give you all the link to Hankidz Academy if you are interested to know more about their programs and their free videos that you can help not just your children, but you as a parent yourself. All right, this is Daphne Iking signing off. Have a fantastic Sunday, or whatever left over of it. And I'm going to go see my kids, and just to show them a little bit of love after getting that motivation from Ollie, I need to go and give my kids a big hug now. All right, see you, take care. Ta-ta, tiki, tuti.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
Yes! 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 Yes!
I'll have what she's having.
He's a